Okay, good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us again. We have our guest teacher, Willem Ackermans, as well as me, Jane Burke. So thank you so much for jumping into some Tai Chi and Qi Gong with us. We're doing some Joe Lok style, and let's begin. So we take right hand in this, left straight. We salute our teachers, and then we salute each other. Great. Okay, let's open up. We're just going to do a little bit of Chen warm up to begin. Feeding into the four corners and breathe. Good. So let yourself go into flow, keeping it nice and small and keeping your structure good and straight. We don't always use this warm up doing Master Lok's work because you can use the 7 stars and rotations as warm up. But I like these practices because they're so simple and yet you can get a lot of health benefits from them. Good. So I want you to practice 30 of these in each direction. We're just dipping in today for a little bit of limbering up. Let's change direction. So since the pandemic started, I've been sharing some of my content, and these are live classes, so we have live students joining us, but I'm sharing it out to the world. I started doing it because live classes, face-to-face classes were impossible at the time. But I like doing it. I like seeing if I can get others, especially in areas that don't have easily accessible classes, that you can all do a wee bit of Tai Chi with us and hopefully gain a bit of strength and health and just a bit of interest, a bit of fun. So if you're watching these videos, please do like and share and subscribe and comment and all those good things. People ask us to do this when we watch YouTube, and we might not really understand why, but it does actually help us to get the word out. The more people click on these things, like and share and all this stuff, it opens the viewing up to more people. So the more people are exposed to it and like it, then the more people get a chance to see it, and it helps us grow the channel. So you're actually helping other people to do a bit of Tai Chi if you just interact in that way. So please do. I would appreciate it, and it'd be lovely to see you again and again. And comments are always welcome. Let's come back to center. We'll go into the 4 corners of the hips. If you do other styles of Tai Chi, you may notice that Master Lok's style is a bit different. It really is to anything else. I felt the same way. It is different, but I love it. I must say his insights and generosity in sharing information it's very, very good. So, and we're doing a little tribute here to Chen style, and Master Lok loves Chen style. He's very into it himself, and they're very nicely compatible. So you can do different styles of Tai Chi if you want. Both Willem and I have done a bit of Yang style as well as Chen style, but Master Lok style is different again. It would be of the Taoist tradition. So say Wu style, would you say? The Taoist tradition, yeah. And he's also a Bagua master. And I'm sure anyone watching this, if you're into Tai Chi, you have some knowledge of Bagua, but it's circle walking. So you see at the end of the 7 stars and rotations, Qi Gong, that we finish with circle walking. So it's an introduction to another aspect of his training and his teaching. And both Willem and I, we love it, but we're only really dipping our toes in to the circle walking aspect. Let's change direction, but it is a whole discipline in itself. So if ever you get the chance, if you like it, you could investigate Bagua Zhang a bit further. But Tai Chi, honestly, is a lifetime of training. Even one system within Tai Chi is more than a lifetime of training. But it's nice that there is a bit of a bridge in Master Locke's work to Bagua. Not just in the circle walking, but actually he blends some of the principles into his Tai Chi as well. So it's somewhat different from other Tai Chi styles. Wow. I was wondering what the shiny thing was on my wrist. I could see it. I'm wearing a bangle, that's what it is. Okay, good. So hopefully you're already starting to feel a wee bit warmer. Notice how subtle this movement is. It's very small, but very relaxed and contained. And that's a really good insight into Tai Chi in general, that we think of big movements as heating us and being useful and assertive. But actually, the smaller the movement, the more you are building energy in your body. So smaller movements are actually, in a way, more powerful. They're more potent. And you're expending less energy. So you're creating more energy for your own use. Good, so let's come back to center, taking the weight into one side, and we're going to send a little spiral down through the legs. And breathe. Good, and change direction. I'm sorry, I'm a bit of a chatty Cathy today, but I'm the boss, so okay, let's shake out, please. So I've been investigating alkalinity in the body. Stand on the other foot, please, and cycle down. Now, when I've been chatting this week with students about alkalinity, a lot of them are going, I don't even know what alkaline is. What are you talking about? What is alkalinity? And I'm sure you know, but if you don't, I'm going to tell you. Change direction, please. So I'm sure everyone's heard of acid. And you get various strengths of acid. So there is a sliding scale to measure that called the pH scale. So you can get really strong acid, like battery acid, for example, and then you can get the likes of vinegar, and then you can get the likes of sparkling water, and they're all acid, but to various degrees. Sparkling water is just slightly acid, but it is enough that if you drank nothing but sparkling water, you would end up having tooth problems, as I did, because I loved sparkling water. And I found, oh, my enamel's suffering here. Let's step forwards, please. So those are all on the acidic side of the pH scale. But if you keep going in the opposite direction from the most extreme acid, you go through neutral pH, and if you keep going to the other side, you end up with an alkaline. And interestingly, we think of acid as something that can corrode and eat into things. Well, so can alkaline. So if you get a strong enough alkaline, it can also behave much like an acid. It can eat through things. It can be burning. It can be corrosive. But it's the opposite of acid. So if you took two on the scale, one on one side of neutral and one on the other, put them together, you might have a bit of smoke and yucky smell, but they would neutralize each other's acidity or alkalinity. Good. Okay, let's feed the weight back. No, sorry, keep the weight forwards and bring your hand above your knee. And we're going to do a little pulse. Good, and start to feed your weight back. Stretching the front leg, bending the back leg, keeping your spine straight and leaning forwards from the hips. So we're giving ourselves a good stretch, but please don't force anything. Good, and come up. Lovely. Okay, so you might think, well, that's all very interesting, Jane, or that's not very interesting, Jane, but let's change. But why are you telling us all this? Let's go forwards and back. And if I have any voice left, I'll tell you. Well, actually, our body has naturally a pH of slightly alkaline, and that's if we're healthy, similar to the pH of seawater So seawater is slightly alkaline. However, that's only if we're healthy and happy and relaxed, and we're sleeping well, and we're eating well, and all our ducks are in a row. However, a lot of the time, especially with modern life and lifestyles, we tend towards the acidic. So if we're stressed, if we're angry, if we're frustrated, if we're eating lots of meat and processed foods and acidic foods or foods causing acidity, we can end up more acid. Let's take the knee slightly bent and start to pulse. Good, and let's feed our weight gently back, stretching the front leg, bending the back leg. Good, and folding forwards. I want you to feel a good stretch, but not a strain. Keep breathing. Good, and up you come. Good. So you might think, well, so what? I don't know what acidity or alkalinity I am, but I feel okay. Well, I hope you do. That's great. But actually, an acidic body is prone to all sorts of discomforts and problems. Let's open our stance and sit down. Good. So we twist. One of these problems that I'm experiencing is arthritis. So if you're experiencing arthritis, it may not be because of an acidic system, but if you do have an acidic system, it can exacerbate the problem. And it can become a catch-22 that one pings off the other and makes it worse. So I have actually heard one of the remedies or things to help with arthritis is to scream into a pillow or punch a pillow or, kick a ball, do something that gets your frustration and anger out. Because if we're holding anger in our system, it's acidifying our bodies. So that's one thing you could try. Obviously, if you're arthritic, you don't want to do anything that's actually hurting you in order to release that tension. Another thing is to reduce the amount of meat that we eat, especially red meat, and pork is a big hitter from the acidity point of view. Good. But there's lots of things that you can do to alkaline your system. Let's come up. Good. And not all of them are diet related, actually. Spending time in sunshine every day can alkaline your system because it makes us relaxed and happy, and it feels good. Breathe, please. And another thing to help alkaline your system is to breathe. And I know we all breathe, don't we? But breathing exercises, deepening your breath, especially with nice fresh air, can really help. And guess what? Exercise. Tai Chi can help alkaline your system. Very good. There's so many ways. Eating lots of green, good vegetables and a bit of fruit, very good also. And sea greens, sea vegetables, seaweed, full of lovely minerals that help to alkaline your system. Good, well done. And recover, ease out of your stance. So I have talked my way through warm-up. I hope you've been able to concentrate. Let's try another nice wide exercise and sit down, and I will stop talking long enough for us to do this. So we're circling one hip. Out, forwards, in and back. Good. See, both hips are moving, but we're just concentrating on one half. Good, let's change onto the other hip. Out, forwards, in and back. Try to keep a feeling of connection with the body and the hip. It's not an isolating movement. Good. All right, let's walk in and shake out. We'll do a little heel tap just to loosen everything up, make everything nice and floppy. This is our Bai Bing Xiao, 100 ailments go away. And stand. And let's do a little bit of Wuji, just as we are, with our feet open. Lengthen up through the top of the head, chin slightly down and back. And feel the energy in your body as you breathe and relax. Listen to the world around you, especially listening behind you. And with each moment, with each breath, let go. Good. Let's find ourselves in our space. Visualize the space around you, and if you have your eyes closed, you can slowly and gently open your eyes. Very good. I'd like you to just have a little stretch. Anything that you feel you need to stretch now, give yourselves a stretch. I've been thinking a lot about this acidity and alkalinity, and just to put it out there, you know, not all of our body needs to be alkaline and wants to be alkaline. Our stomach, for example, is full of acid, and it needs to be full of acid in order to digest our food. So the idea of taking an alkaline like baking soda or alkaline water, though it will alkaline your system, it will actually dilute and neutralize some of that stomach acid. So I wouldn't recommend that. You know, just in case you were thinking. So the stomach needs to be acid, but the rest of the body prefers alkalinity. So yeah, let's have a shake out.
I think they're talking specifically about the blood.
Yes, exactly.
When they talk about alkalinity or acidity. The
Yeah.
blood needs to be very specific. It's held at a very specific pH, but yeah, diet and stuff can influence it.
It can definitely influence it, but just like our blood pressure, it goes up and down a bit.
Yeah.
And it needs to. It's actually designed to balance us. The whole body wants balance the whole time. We have this amazing ability called homeostasis. So your body is continuously juggling all of its factors to keep us alive and to keep us healthy and happy. And it's kind of similar to what we're doing in Tai Chi, actually. Tai Chi is really describing the movements and the actions of the universe. That's what it's meant to be. And Master Lok talks about this, that we want to copy the movements of the heavenly bodies, copy the movements of the universe to sort of fool our bodies that we are part of that. But actually, we are part of that. And it's all a game of balancing. But we're deliberately knocking ourselves off of balance in order to play with that balance and maintain balance even through continuous manipulation and movement. So, so trust that your body actually is a very intelligent thing and knows how to balance itself. But now we're going to engage in that game of balancing as well. So let us do open door 5. In fact, I'd like to do the first 3 movements of the 7 stars in rotations. But then we're going to leave that for today and focus more on Phoenix and Immortals. Okay, so are we ready? We're going to lengthen up. The chin slightly down and back. And again, just for a moment, return to stillness, letting go. As you stand, you'll feel your body and letting go of tension. The body becomes more relaxed, more happy, and it functions better. Find all 10 fingers and gently engage them as if little threads are drawing your fingers towards the floor. Gently does it and feel for the point where they really zing. The energy connects. Keeping that connection, that feeling of energy all the way to your fingertips, we begin open door 5. Very good. Movement 2, we begin with just a forwards and backwards roll. Notice from the side view there with Willem, you can see the back gently filling and releasing. So, excuse me, so there's an expansion in all directions, not just forwards. And then a release to center from all directions. Very good for lower back issues. General stiffness melts away. Let's circle. Even better for just stretching out the lower back and gently massaging the inner organs. Let's change direction. Beautiful. Let's turn the palms and draw in and float out. When you practice this, I would like you to get into a rhythm with it and practice to the point you can even lose count. Just allow yourself to get lost in the flow of the movement. I'm getting some really lovely releases in my spine here. Good, and let's change direction. I want you to notice when a movement feels really easy and effortless, and maybe sometimes you might notice you feel that you're really working. And I want you to pay attention to all these sensations. It doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong if it's a strain, but if it really is straining, then you know to reduce the amount. But also sometimes the ones that aren't quite so comfortable, that's indicating that that's the exercise that is necessary to practice. Good, let's come back to center. For movement 3, we open and gather as much fresh air as we can, drawing in towards the temples, point to the temples and down. Open at the collarbone and point into the body with all 10 fingers. Turn palms, point around the feet, up the back without actually touching, around the waist. And now relax to center, checking posture. Relax into your belly. We're returning to stillness here for a moment for you to process what you've just done and to connect and listen to that process with your awareness. The breath should be silent, but let it flow. And now we go again. Ready? And check posture and relax into your belly. These moments of stillness give you an opportunity to really listen and feel both internal and external world. What do you feel in your body? What do you hear around you? So that's what, 2? Let's do one more. Ready? And take a deep breath. Check posture. The top of the head floats up. The chin slightly down and back. And we release and relax down through the body, allowing the hands to draw the awareness to the center of the belly. And with the awareness, the energy pulls in the belly. You'll feel your energy is stronger. Very good. Relax gently down. Feeding the weight into one side, we close. Good. And we heel tap. Just a moment, excuse me, of domestic stuff. Is the fire covered? Yes. Oh, good. I can hear the roaring fire. That's the lovely thing. Yeah. Oh, great. Okay. Good. All right. So that's our little warm-up for today and a little bit of Qi Gong. I must say, I love the 7 stars practice. I think it's so beautiful and so simple, but it step by step guides us into the more advanced aspect of Tai Chi. However, we're going to leave 7 stars now and have a little look at the Phoenix. Okay, so everyone, let us do the Phoenix on both sides. So this is a little bit of a challenge. It's a bit of a brain twister, but I think we're up for it. Very, very useful for neuroplasticity. So getting our brain working, sparkling, and that little bit of stress is actually very good for us. Under control stress is very good for us. So let us do, should we do the back view? Let's do the back view. We'll maybe do it twice through. So we'll do front, left and right twice. First time facing the back, and we'll think about it. Okay, so we bring our heels together, folks, and our toes slightly apart. We lengthen up through the very top of the head and the chin slightly down and back. Take a few moments to breathe and calm. Find all 10 fingers and again, just engage them. The top of the head is lengthening up, the fingers are lengthening down. And Willem's going to set the pace when you're ready, Willem. What we're going to do, we're actually just going to close now. So we do the normal closing. Point to the floor and close right. Good. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to just make it as clear and simple as possible. So we're going to move back and now we're going to do the whole form on the other side. The more advanced or potentially just more fluid version is to morph from one side into the other. But for this round, let's just do it on the other side. Are you warming up? I am. In fact, excuse me a second. Let's begin. So before we begin, hold it in your mind which way you're starting, and that helps to just enter into the form clearly. Yeah, so left hand scoops under to begin this time on your second side. Prepare. And again, Willem's going to lead the way.
Sitting back, sitting down, scoop. Left hand under.
So well done. Good. I think it's nice because in the past we have worked hard to blend the edge of the first side into the second side to varying degrees of success. But I think it is nice to also acknowledge that you don't have to. do that and make it into one mega form. You can just do it on both sides, and that's quite nice as well. Lovely. I'd like to focus on this form today. Last week we talked about the power of taking small sections and repeating. And I still intend to do that, but not today. But actually, the Phoenix is a form that we're quite familiar with. So even just repeating an entire form multiple times, that also is very beneficial for just general smoothness and just keeping it alive and keeping it fresh in the body. Not only that, but we can actually polish the whole form. Maybe some sections you might be focusing more on than others, but it's nice to mix it up when you're training. So being very fastidious about each and every part and polishing each bit, there's a lot to be said for that. There is also a lot to be said for just polishing an entire form, for flow, for enjoyment. I've noticed with performance, I'm sure you've noticed this, Willem, as well. If you're training something, you think, I know this, I'm pretty good at this, I'm doing okay. And then if you go in front of an audience and try to perform it, unless you have absolutely drilled it, it's very easy to get a bit lost and a bit confused. With all those eyes on you, with all that awareness pointed in your direction, what we thought we knew can actually go out the window. I don't know if you've had that experience. I definitely have. You know, that I would maybe be learning something new and be eager to share it with people, only to realize that I just wasn't ready, that I needed many more repetitions. So it's not enough to have learned a form. We actually have to keep practicing it in order for it to even register fully in our body memory. Then if we do it for many years, then it will be at our disposal, hopefully. It'll be at our beck and call when we go, right, let me perform this. But you can never rely on your body memory for like long periods of time without actually polishing it up and giving it an airing. So let us do that again. We're going to do both sides, but now actually I thought that we would face front. How would that be? Quite often when Willem is with me, he'll do the back view and I'll do the front view mirrored. And though I think it's very pretty, it may be quite confusing. So we're going to do both sides facing you, but we're going to mirror. So basically, we're going to start on the second side. You're going to start on the first side, unless you're one of these amazing people who naturally, if I do this, you'll do I don't even know.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
But for most people, if we stick up that hand, you stick up your right hand.
Yeah, there's always the exception, you know. So mirroring is quite confusing in face-to-face classes, but for some reason I think because we have a flat screen in front of us, it's more like a mirror, isn't it? Yeah.
Let's make it clear and simple. Just mirror.
Just mirror. Yeah. This is your right hand. Okay, are we ready? Let's lengthen up, please. Chin slightly down and allow yourself to come. Calming down, listening behind. Ready? We start. And you scoop your right hand under. Sorry. There we go. Keep going. So you can use me for close-up work. You can use Vellum for the full look of it. Goes right. Beautiful. Well done. Lovely. Okay, and now we do it on your second side. So we do it on our normal first side. Well done. Okay, so I quite like me being quite close so that you can see any details, though obviously my feet will be off screen. But Willem being so tall, even when he's in the back of the room, you can still see him quite clearly, hopefully. So second side. Okay, ready? Check posture. Calming down. We begin. And this time you take your left hand under. And you would close left. Well done. Good. Oh, isn't that beautiful? It's a lovely form. Yeah. So, folks, at the moment we're working on 3 different forms. Well, not in this class, but we have the 7 stars that we touched on, the first 3 moves. We worked more on the Phoenix today, and then there's the Immortals. So you might ask yourself, well, when do I practice which? Well, go with your instinct. What do you feel like on the day? But certainly I would find the 7 stars brilliant for health and just general maintenance and connecting your mind and your body. So a nice meditative practice, giving you good general well-being. Phoenix, likewise, I feel, though it's a little bit more Tai Chi, it's a Qigong it's a Tai Chi that's very rich in Qigong. Again, I would do the Phoenix if I was wanting to work on my health, if I was feeling the need to balance my emotions as well as my organs. I love the Phoenix, and I would definitely, it's a go-to form. So the Immortals, on the other hand, it's for when I want to really express myself and feel power within my body or generate power. It's more martial in content, and it's more flamboyant, and it's a little bit more physically challenging. So you decide. There may be days that actually you're feeling a bit weak and watery, and actually doing a martial form gives you a feeling of, ah, I can do this. But you choose. So we have 5 minutes left. Do you want to do the Immortals?
Like, I'm gonna finish with a bit of circle walking.
Yeah, let's do some circle walking. Let's do some circle walking. Yeah, there's loads of
Because
different.
we need it.
Yeah, we need to. Oh, I'm not sure. Yes, we need it. So there's lots of different moves. Actually, if you do Master Lok's online course in the 7 stars, he does all the 7 stars, and then as a little bit of bonus, he gives us more circle walking exercises. So in the 7 stars and rotations, we do the position of the 7 stars, the plow. But actually, he gives us lots of lovely other ones. So let's look at some of the other ones. So I would like to do the lion opens its mouth, because for me it's the easiest. Just walk it. I don't know why, but I really like that position.
You're a Scottish dancer.
Maybe. I'm a dancer, yeah. Maybe that's in heart. So it's similar, actually, isn't it, to the movement 6, the 6 harmonies. So in the 6 harmonies, do you remember you open and then you come up and you do your rolling and you open? So the lion opens its mouth is similar to that. We want to keep the shoulders level. And I think that's the one challenge in the circle walking with the lion's mouth, is the temptation is to raise the shoulder. So we want to keep our structure and create a frame. So we're pointing into the center of the circle with the lowered hand, like so. So let's give it a go. Willem and I will, yeah.
Top hand fingers point.
Yeah. The top hand fingers are pointing in towards the center as well. We just want to be careful that the shoulder doesn't rise. Yeah. Okay. So let's give it a go. If you go to the back of your space, please. We're doing it sideways on. Oh, should we do the back? Yeah, let's all do this. Let's all do the same. Okay, so right. I completely hide you, Helen. It's as if you're not here. Okay, so lengthening up, chin slightly down and back. We're going to scoop. Good. Take the right hand under. So there's your little hug ball. Turn the ball, push your left heel out, and then step forwards with your right hand. Bring your left hand underneath and your right hand up. Now we're going to step round in a circle. The upper body is always orientating towards the center of the circle. Off you go. 1, 2, 3, halfway 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Turn in. There's your hug ball, and release. Off you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and rest. Take a breath. Yeah, we do need to practice, don't we? Yeah, I do too. And relax down. Well done, and a heel tap. It seems so simple, doesn't it? Just walk around in a circle. But there is a lot of technique involved. And we were trying to do the mud step. I think you were doing pretty well. I struggle with the mud step. The mud step means that we're gliding the foot across the floor, always keeping the foot parallel. I'm just mucking around here. But you keep your foot parallel. Is that the right word? To the floor. It's a hovercraft. You're looking to create hovercraft. Level with the floor. And the difficulty is when you're taking the back foot, because we want to just peel up, don't we? But with Bagua, we want to keep the foot parallel. We want to keep it floating above, which is not easy. So something to practice. And when I'm teaching this, if I'm actually taking time, I'll just have people starting just going in straight lines, sliding their feet. And it's a bit like the Japanese keeping your flip-flops, your wooden flip-flops on. Yes, it's that sort of thing. It's a sort of mud step. That's called the mud step. Anyway, we're out of time today, folks. I think we've covered quite a lot, and I hope you have enjoyed the class. Thank you so much for our guest teacher. It's always lovely to have Willem along. So, Lao Hao. Thank you. And Xie Sang Hao, thank you so much. Keep practicing and look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you. Bye.